Yadi deham pratam kritya chitti vishramya tishtasi adhuneva sukhi shantaha bandhamukto bhavishyasi natvam vipradiko varnaha nasramino nasraminakshakocharaha asaṅgosi nirākārah Viśva Sākṣī sukhi bhava. Now, when Rishi Janaka asked this question, how to become a free person, and especially knowledge and vairagyam. Now, Aṣṭāvakra continues, stating that first thing is, basically you are a free person. So when we say you are a free person, so that means it's very clear. If you consider that you are bound, what does it mean? Whoever is in Samsung can mute it, because every time I don't know who is the person in Samsung. Will you please mute whoever the person may be? This is a serious class, okay? Please, I don't know. This is not acceptable. For one person's sake, others should not be disturbed, okay? First of all, joining in the late, common sense should be there, okay? And you cannot keep on whatever sound comes, and that too no video. Please, this is a class, this is not time pass. Unless if anybody has got some other problem, okay? I'm sorry. I remember the beautiful story goes about this Janaka and Aṣṭāvakra. Many stories, one of the stories also is very popular. And one day, Aṣṭāvakra was teaching, and like everyday classes going on, Aṣṭāvakra was teaching. One day, Aṣṭāvakra discovered the king Janaka did not come, whereas all other sadhus were there. So seeing all the sadhus, Aṣṭāvakra did not open his mouth. He just waited for the king to come. Now what happens to all the sadhus? They started feeling uncomfortable. Look, Aṣṭāvakra the great says, who was a man or embodiment of vairagyam. Now he is waiting for the king to come to teach. We all are there that we are sannyasi. He doesn't have respect for us. He doesn't care us, because after all he's king, taken care by king. That's why he's waiting for the king. Of course, Aṣṭāvakra could hear this rumor, but did not open his mouth, but waited. So finally, when Dasaratha came with apology, sorry, I was delayed because of some other reason. Then the moment seeing Aṣṭāvakra, seeing Janaka, Rishi Aṣṭāvakra started teaching, continued. Next day, again, same thing happened. That Janaka came late, Aṣṭāvakra as usual waited for him. And the sadhus were restless, what to do, what not to do. Okay. So as the discourse was going on, some messenger came, and one of the messenger come and whispered in the ear of king something and went away. So the moment whispering was done, all the sadhus, those who are sitting and thinking that we are the best student because we are the vairagis, blah blah, They were restless. What happened? Said something, but king did not bother, but busy in listening to. Okay, maybe something. Then after 10 minutes, again another message rushed and came. Maharaj, there is something. Again whispered. King said, now the sadhus could not keep quiet. There is something serious, but not able to. Now they started looking here and they are restless completely. And suddenly they discovered, so there is some fire, some smoke. Oh. And of course, they could hear, oh, this palace has got fire. Now sadhus were staying next to the palace. Guest house was being given. Now, when discourses are going on, all the sadhus started running away. Do you know why? Because outside the balcony, because they don't have any possession, outside of the balcony, they were drying their langoti, their cloths. Now, if they don't go, that will get burnt. So let the discourse go wherever. Let us go and protect our things. Then after that came back and said, look, king, do you not understand palace? I said, okay. And king, they asked, what was the news? That time the Guru said, look, I know it. The first news was that there is a fire, but king was busy. Second news also, there is fire. King was busy in listening to it. What is there? Whereas you people are so vairagi that little bit that cloth is so important for you. Let the class be stopped. Now let me go and protect my cloth. Coming back. Naptam vipradiko varṇa na āśramī na akshagocharaha. So here, this particular verse again highlights this neti method for kriya. So when we say neti, that means we do talk very carefully, negotiating with my thought in the negation mode. So there are two levels. I negate to negotiate, or I negotiate to negate. If you observe, sometimes you negate to strengthen, not to negotiate. In your day-to-day life, sometimes you negate not to negotiate, but to strengthen your standpoint. But very rarely you negate to negotiate with yourself. And interestingly, until and unless you negotiate with yourself, will you be able to negotiate with anybody in life? And even if you negotiate with anybody, this becomes a business bargaining. It's not negotiation, it's a business deal or bargaining. Because in negotiation, both should be benefited. Whereas in business deal, how much you can be benefited without looking at other party. So that's why here, neti. Negation we do in order to negotiate with myself. So what are the negotiations? First thing is, I am born to a family. Here is a Vipra. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Both, all the four can be taken. That I am a person who is born in a Brahmin family. I am a person who is born a Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra. Now, whatever family I am born, now I am proud of it. Or I feel low about myself, both. Now, he says, look, it is not me. Yes, because of my karma, previous life, Based on that karma and karma phala, I am born to a family. And because of that reason, there are few samskaras which is very convenient for me. But I am supposed to grow out of it or at least maintain that. But what I do, especially those who hold on to this family background, nobility of the family, they don't improve. In fact, they prove that they are better. And interestingly, says, look, not only that, Tvam na vipradika varnaha. So, oh student, this is what our Aṣṭāvakra addresses to Janaka. Hey, look, you do not belong to this brāhmaṇa or any other caste, either kshatriya, vaishya, or shudra. Not only that, now you are a married person, especially Janaka was a king, married person. That means he was he was belong to ashram called grihastha ashram. As you know, there are 4 ashramas: brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. Brahmachari, grihastha, grahastha dharma. That's why we call it all these things. It becomes a grihastha, so vanaprasthi and sannyasa. Now you technically are a grihastha. So what you call a householder, very nicely somebody said, the word, this householder is a very good word. So what is in English? Householder means he who or she who, whatever, he who holds the house, correct? Is called householder. Now question is, do you hold house or you are held by house? So in reality, you are not householder, you are house held, okay? That's the right word. However, coming to the point here, no āśramī iti, nor you are bound to any stage of life. Why? Because in each stage there are certain rules and regulations. There are some do's and don'ts. So that's why you are not that. Then what about, he says, look, na akshagocharaha iti, nor you are an object of any sense organs. If not, then what happens? But you are Asaṅga, you are Nirākāra, you are Viśva Sākṣī. So what does he wants to communicate here? So he wants to communicate very simple way that drik and drishya concept. Even though we'll be seeing this thing also later on, that whatever you see, whatever you experience, you are not that. The seer is never a seen. An experiencer is never experienced. But in meditation, everybody wants to experience. That's why in meditation, you can never experience the experiencer. So you can experience anything and everything except the experiencer. That's why meditation is important, but meditation is not everything. Please understand. And then who you are? Asaṅga. Asaṅga means unattached. And once you say Asaṅga, you are unattached. And why you are unattached? Because you are Nirākāra. You are formless. So if there is form, if there is akara, there has to be some attachment Sangha. But when you are Nirākāra, so where is attachment? Not only that, you are somebody called Viśva Sākṣī. You are the witness of the universe. And when you are witness of universe, now what you need to do? Learn to witness your thoughts first. First, Atma Sākṣī bhav. Then you will go to Viśva Sākṣī, okay? We have a beautiful concept, this witness concept everywhere, all over the world in the law system. A Sākṣī must not be elated, must not be, depressed. Job of the Sākṣī witness is what? In the court. Supposed to inform and get out. But what happens, when you are paid Sākṣī, when you are attached to Sākṣī, you know better what you make you mess, okay? Lot of emotion. That's why the cross verification happens in such a, whether you are attached Sākṣī or unattached Sākṣī. Attached witness or unattached witness. If you are unattached witness, honestly speaking, what cross question can happen? So here he says, look, first learn to become Atma Sākṣī. The reason is why, whenever you are unhappy, because of not watching or witnessing your thought. In fact, when you are one with your thought, and accordingly you start moving, you start functioning, you start behaving, or there is tadatmya bhava, oneness with your way of thinking, that time you are unhappy. That's why he uses this word, sukhi bhava iti. Be happy. And one can become happy. Here there is become, I'm using the word, honestly speaking, there is nothing called becoming, being happy. When I am not associating with my thoughts, or I would rather say, I am not one with my thoughts. I look at my thoughts as they are. Yes, if I'm angry, I have to observe I'm angry. If I am happy, also I have to observe I am happy. Whatever emotion comes to me, whether it is good or bad, even if it is healthy or unhealthy, let me observe. And while observing, work. This is the two level. First, observe and work. Or else what will happen? You will be doing Ekadashi Upavasam, Dvadashi Parana. Fasting, indulging. I won't say feasting, okay? Fasting and indulging. Both are not good. So during fasting time, only you think of, indulging time also you think of. It's like, very nice concept comes. Swami used to say this story very nicely because his way of storytelling was amazing. In fact, we have heard the same story 1,000 times. Sometimes again we'll request him, please. And again he will tell differently. So one of the story, like, those days in India, especially when you go by train and in summer, so you have to collect water from the railway station because there is no bottle, nothing. So whatever you carry, can or whatever, so you have to collect water. And interestingly, not that in every station you will have water facility. Very few stations, there will be water facility. I remember, used to, the moment stops, we have to rush, and that within 5 minutes, you have to catch the water, and the moment the train leaves, bang, you have to catch, or else you are gone. And if you miss the train, remember, That day is gone. And your luggage and other things forget. So a family was traveling with this background. Now the woman says, look, there is no water. What to do? What to do? Then the husband opened the bottle and said, hey, look, there is some water. What are you talking? No, it won't be sufficient. It won't be sufficient. There is no water. There is no. Hey, please drink at least. Manage it. No, it is not sufficient. There is no water. You could have brought it. You did not do it. There is no water. There is no water. So continuously, that 1 hour till next station comes. Okay, you drink. No, I can. If I drink, what about child? Child can drink. Child cannot drink. Now I'm thirsty. Hey, drink whatever is there. If no, for emergency, I need to keep for child. No. Okay, with great difficulties. The man had to listen because you have to be a mature man in this regard, okay? Don't open your mouth. If you open your mouth, it's a disaster. So whole trip is gone. Then the moment station comes, the person jumps, somehow gets the water. After getting water, the man tried to take a breath. A little bit relief I can have. Then the lady drinks the water and says, then after, like the moment train starts moving, look, you did not take care of it. You did not plan. I was thirsty. I was thirsty. I was thirsty. Now tell me, what can you do with the person? So when you look at with reference to your life, how much you are connected with your thoughts. In fact, when you are too much with your thoughts, always you will find mistakes in others. In fact, you will find mistake in everything. And here he says, if you want to become a Sukhi person, if you want to be happy person, what you need to do? Learn to witness. So indirectly, highlights here, spend some time, at least learn to close your eyes to observe your thoughts sometime. If you cannot witness, learn to observe. It is exactly like you are afraid of water. You don't want to learn swimming. So what you need to do? Go and sit next to the river. Then slowly put the leg inside the river. Who knows? One day, some strength will come. Because the phobia with reference to water at least will go away. Continuing. Dharma, dharmau, sukham, dukkham. Manasani na te vibho. Na kartasi na bhoktasi. Muktayevasi sarvada. Here he says, look, vibho. Addresses vibho means what? You are all pervading one. You are not limited to anything or any space. Hey vibho. Oh, all pervading one. Dharma, adharma, sukham, dukkham. Manasani te noiti. So that means, remember that dharma and adharma, this is righteous, this is not righteous. Even if sukham and dukkham, pleasure and pain, they are called manasani, technical word he uses. Manasani means that belongs to mind. So it is a dharma of mind, means mental. That's why, so when you do not understand this as mental, you become a mental, okay? When you do not understand that the sukham, dukkham belongs to mind, then you become a mental. You think it belongs to me? No, not it belongs to me. It is me. That would be the right word. He says, look, what you need to see here very carefully, that dharma, this is righteous, this is not, this is pleasure, this is pain. All these modifications belongs to your mind. Means they are temporary in nature. They will keep coming and keep going. No, they know it. It is not yours. Why it is not yours? Because he uses this next word. Tvam na karta asiti, na bhukta asi, sarvada eva mukta asi. Because if you are a karta doer, then only dharma and adharma belongs to you. So if you are not a karta, where is dharma, where is adharma? And of course, if you are not a bhukta, enjoyer, when there is no sense of enjoyership in you, because you understand this is a phenomenon just passing by, then what happens? Where is pleasure, where is pain? So you entertain, you strengthen, you relate with the pain and pleasure related to me or you being as an enjoyer. The raw enjoyership in you, the stronger pain and pleasure will be created in you. Whereas when you are polished enjoyer, matured enjoyer, what happens? It is exactly like the first month salary when you get. You must have got first month salary. How happy you were. A lot of planning, lot of things to it. Now you get salary. Do you bother? In fact, yearly once you look how much increment. Even if they give you, 50% increment, it never happens. Just I'm trying to say. Sometimes this guy, software guys, okay, they when they change the company one to another place, suddenly they get some 15-20% hike. So even if they get 20% hike, what happens? Do you bother? Still not good. Why? You are experienced enjoyer, matured enjoyer, okay? Whereas the first job when you get, how much you celebrate? In fact, very less money. The way you celebrate, the way you spend, you know better, okay? Same thing here also being highlighted. The pain and pleasure, I would rather say the gap between pain and pleasure completely depends upon your immaturity. So if there is a huge gap between pain and pleasure, means when situation becomes unwanted, you are so unhappy. And when situation becomes good, you are so happy. And the gap is so big. And some people, something happens, nothing. But when something goes wrong, they are completely down. They are depressed people. That there are more dangerous. Okay, at least you can relate with this group. Jumping, falling down, jumping, falling down. At least you can relate. But the other group, you cannot relate at all. In fact, they will, literally take away your energy also. They will drain your energy. And they will teach you because all the time they are the best philosophers. Okay. One has to be very careful with this sort of people. And he says, look, now you are not a karta, you are not a bhukta. Then if this is the case, who are you? He says, look, very simple way to put, sarvada eva mukta asitum. All the time, always, indeed, you are liberated. So that means when you are ever liberated, you are always a free person. then where is the bondage? The bondage is nothing, but it is my sense of doership. And why I want to be doer? Because I want to enjoy. In fact, sense of enjoyership is the main cause of my bondage. In reality, I am not an enjoyer. More of it will say. Om Om Punnamada Punnamitam Punnat Punnam Vadachyate Punnasya Punnamadaya Punnam Eva Vishishyate Om Shanti.